F1 is known for its great racing and its legendary drivers and teams. But it's also known for scandals, and today we're going to dive deep into another scandal. And this time it's not just another scandal, it's one that involves the F1 management directly, and they're head-to-head with not just someone, they're head-to-head with FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem, who for some reason thought he could have it all and decided to play judge himself. Ben Sulayem has been in the pictures ever since he was appointed as FIA President after the 2021 Abu Dhabi chaos. And ever since his appointment, he's made sure that everyone in and around the grid knows what's on his mind. He's been ridiculed for his online presence on Twitter more than once, but this time he crossed a line and faces major backlash from the F1 stakeholders. Is his position in danger? Will he see another FIA president next year? Let's find out what Ben Sulayem had to say that made F1 send out an official letter to silence him. The FIA's president Mohammed Ben Sulayem has warned against alleged inflated price tags of $20 billion for a future Formula One sale. This appears to be in response to a recent Bloomberg story that Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, or PIF, considered purchasing F1 for $20 billion. Bloomberg's story said this was explored last year but turned down by Liberty Media, which had no interest in selling, but that the PIF remains interested in the asset and would be a serious bidder should Liberty Media change its mind and decide to sell. Ben Sulayem warned that if Liberty Media sold the commercial rights to F1, a possible buyer would have to show a complete strategy for F1's future, in addition to stating that the stated $20 billion price was inflated. Ben Sulayem delivered the warning in 3 parts through Twitter on Monday afternoon. This came after being questioned about the Bloomberg article by reporters during the Monte Carlo rally, with Ben Sulayem wanting to make the FIA's position plain. As the custodians of motorsport, the FIA, as a non-profit organisation, is cautious about alleged inflated price tags of $20 billion being put on F1, said Ben Sulayem on Twitter. Any potential buyer is advised to apply common sense, consider the greater good of the sport, and come with a clear, sustainable plan, not just a lot of money. It's our duty to consider what the future impact will be for promoters in terms of increased hosting fees and other commercial costs, and any adverse impact that it could have on the fans. According to a top F1 source, the first sale news was not totally correct, and the FIA president would have no influence in such a selling process anyhow. It is worth remembering, however, that the FIA World Motorsport Council had to unanimously approve the transfer to Liberty. This will have been tied to the conditions of the agreement under which it gave up the commercial rights, first to Bernie Ecclestone in 1995 for a duration of 15 years, then with a further 100-year deal for $360 million. But F1 appears to consider this a formality. The original sale was required to meet the European Commission's requirement that the FIA split its regulatory and commercial participation in Formula One. Liberty Media paid $4.4 billion for F1's commercial rights, but it is not actively looking to sell them, despite claims that it might do so at a big profit. As with any such entity, the right buyer with the appropriate number may change that situation, and it's obvious that PIF would be interested in such a purchase if it were on the table. Ben Sulayem's affirmation of the FIA's position must also be regarded as part of the larger struggle for dominance in F1. This is only the latest volley, after Ben Sulayem's insistence for a formal application process for ambitious new teams, despite F1 and the team's skepticism. The FIA plainly wants to guarantee that if Liberty Media does decide to sell its assets in the future, whether to PIF or another company, it is a significant part of the process and that it stands to profit financially. As you can imagine, these tweets haven't gone down nicely at the F1 offices. The F1 stakeholders feel that the FIA president has crossed a line this time. And it's fair to say that there probably is no coming back from this one. So now, tensions between Formula One and the FIA have risen to new heights, with an unusual letter issued to the governing body, following statements made by President Mohammed Ben Sulayem on Twitter. All because the president thought it was a good idea on Monday to post a thread on Twitter, in which he claimed to reply to a news article saying that Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund had explored buying Formula One for roughly $20 billion. He even went on to say that the price is too high. That takes courage or complete stupidity to say. We'll let you choose. The story received no response from F1, its owner Liberty Media, or the PIF. Its authenticity has been called into doubt by top individuals in the championship, and it's thought that Ben Sulayem did not raise it with anybody at F1. However, the FIA president wanted to address it after being asked about it at the Monte Carlo rally the day before. In the tweets, he referred to an alleged inflated price tag and advised any potential bidder for F1 to do so with a clear, sustainable plan, not just a lot of money. In F1, this has been received with astonishment, perplexity, and some rage. Stakeholders think Ben Sulayem crossed a line, prompting the exceedingly uncommon move of a letter to the FIA executive and the World Motorsport Council, signed by Sasha Woodward-Hill and Rennie Wilm, F1's main legal officers and Liberty Media's owner respectively. The letter's contents, as disclosed by Sky and the BBC, include a reference to the president's statements interfering with F1's commercial rights holder in an unacceptable manner, and a warning that if they impair F1's value, the FIA may be liable as a result. It is the newest, oddest and most serious development in a behind-the-scenes conflict between Formula One and its governing body, which had some origins prior to Ben Sulayem's leadership, but has increased in the years since he took office. The fact that F1 felt the need to intervene so explicitly in direct reaction to the FIA president's words and warned that it will not be necessary to address this issue again is significant. Ben Sulayem's usage of Twitter has raised more than a few eyebrows in F1. Recent examples include Ben Sulayem announcing his intention to open the process for evaluating new teams, then taking to social media a few days later to publicly complain about a negative reaction to the Andretti Cadillac project, which Ben Sulayem has spoken positively about, but teams have responded negatively to in private. Some people even refer to Ben Sulayem as F1's own Elon Musk for tweeting everything that comes to his mind. But this time it's different. It's not been dismissed as an expression of an individual's perspective, nor has it been dismissed as odd but ultimately harmless. There are issues about claiming or implying possession of inside knowledge and causing substantial damage to the shareholders and investors. According to F1, Ben Sulayem does not grasp the agreement between the FIA and F1. He has no say or approval power, and the governing body is only involved in the process in very limited instances. Most crucially, it's not his responsibility to tamper with, not least because it crosses a boundary in the commercial separation between the FIA and F1, as part of a decades-old antitrust regulation. Neither F1 nor the FIA have issued a formal statement on the incident. The substance of the leaked letter, however, plainly reveals that whomever believed Ben Sulayem could get away with his tweets, or that they would be simply sidestepped, was gravely incorrect. For now, we're waiting to see what will happen, but we won't be surprised if Ben Sulayem suddenly resigns in the coming weeks. The fans would be happy if that happens, as there have been a lot of people on Twitter since the incident, hoping that the president will resign in the coming days. What do you think? Has the FIA president crossed a line here? Should he be kicked out of the FIA? Or is everyone overreacting, and is Ben Sulayem the person to lead the FIA and F1 to new heights? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to see it. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.